Everybody has had a bad boss before, but maybe some of you haven't. I'm going to spell out the different types of bad bosses in this video. There's 9 of them exactly. So stay tuned. At the end, I'm going to give you a couple pointers. Hey, look, if you think you have a bad boss and you'd like to talk to me privately on one-on-one, please hit the link below and go to my website and set up a free session. Okay, let's jump right into it. The first boss is the crazy boss, the narcissistic boss. The one that's always down your throat. This is the one that takes up all the air in the room and acts like they own the place. You know the type that take up all the air in the room. They always have to be seen. They're very, very loud. They're very, very proud of themselves. They're always bragging about what they've done, where they've been, what their education is. These are really, really confrontational type people. They have really, really big egos, guys. I mean, really egos. You can see these guys a mile away. You can understand. They're very, very self-confident. Can also be very, very charming from the outside. So people who look at these guys from the outside say, oh, they're very, very nice. Behind the scenes, they can be really, really terrorists. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you have a boss like this, guys, get away from them. And it's nothing you can do. That behavior's not going to change. So if I was you, I would update my resume and start looking around for another job if I had a boss that was crazy like this. Some very key points about the narcissistic boss. They're very, very defensive about their accomplishments, so don't question what they say or do. They always try to deflect any type of negative activity towards them, towards someone else, and they're quickly to throw you straight under the bus. Boss number 2, the laid back or withdrawal boss. You guys have all seen these type of bosses. They're very likable. Sometimes they don't really know what's going on. They're really, really in the cut. You don't hear too much from them. They're very, very quiet. They like to run their business from a 10,000-foot level. Very rarely are they in the details. They really, they kind of hover above. They get stuck into things when they have to, but primarily they try to run the business very, very hands-off. The good things about them, they're hands-off and they let you do your thing. The bad things about if you need to go to them to get help, to remove some obstruction that's in your way, they're very, very hands-off about doing it also. They may not push as hard as you would like them to push. If you have a boss like this, they're not a bad boss, but I would be leery of them. I would really be leery of them. I would probably try to look for an exit strategy. The real reason why I would look for an exit strategy here is because they're so laid back. There's not a lot of risk here with this type of boss, but they won't push for you and it might interfere with your career mobility. Number 3, the never go home boss or the workaholic. You know this guy. This guy is the first one in the office, and the last one to leave. They're sending emails out at midnight. They're sending emails over the weekend. They're jumping on conference calls on holidays, vacation. They're always on the job. Look, there's nothing wrong with being committed to the job. As long as that commitment doesn't turn to your commitment. Let them do their thing, but a lot of bosses like this, because they're very, very committed, they expect everybody on their team to have the same commitment. That is a really, really bad thing because people that are workaholics sometimes tend to want their team to be workaholics. If you have a boss that's workaholic and you're not a workaholic, then this person might see you as lazy or being non-committed just because you aren't working with the same energy level that they are. It's very, very difficult to live up to someone who works 24 hours a day if you don't work 24 hours a day. If you're willing to come in and do your 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, but after that, you want to close your laptop down, you want to shut your phone off, that might be looked at as very, very negative behavior if you're working for a workaholic. So be careful there. Number 4, the always on the go boss. You know what an always on the go boss is? They're always running to another meeting. They're always going to another conference call. They're always jumping on a plane. You don't know where they are. They're always doing something. They're always busy. If you look at their calendars are jam-packed. Every minute of the day, there's a meeting. Matter of fact, if you want to talk to them about something, you have to book some time on their calendar to get 15 minutes in. And I've seen some managers, they'll book actually 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that because that's how jam-packed their schedule is. That's a good thing and that's a bad thing. The good thing is they're always they don't know exactly what you're doing, so they really can't micromanage. Bad thing is they don't really know what you're doing either. So when it comes down to performance appraisals, you might get shocked because they might have some data or some information or a mindset about what you do. They really don't know because they're jumping from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad. So they have no idea what you're doing. I shouldn't say they don't have any idea because they have some conceptual idea of what you're doing. But the details on your day in and day out task, unless they've stood in this role before, unless they've done the same job that you've done, they have no idea what you're doing. So be careful about this type of boss also. Number 5, the any second now boss. This is the angry boss. Anything can tip this person off. They can be very, very sweet and charming in 1 minute. The next minute, they can be explosive, slamming the hands down on the desk, screaming on conference calls. calling people out publicly. These people are very, very toxic and you want to stay away from them. You want to try to make sure that you be very, very proactive working for these type of bosses, and you know who they are. And in most organizations, they know who they are too, but sometimes they've been very, very successful on pushing people to get the best performance out of them. At some point, if it's starting to really get on your nerves and really starting to bother you, I would clearly get an exit strategy and get away from this person as quickly as possible. Number 6, down your throat, the micromanager. Everybody's had one of these bosses before. This is really, really stressful, especially for me. If someone's looking at everything you do down your throat every day, they're the only ones can do it right, and they want to see exactly what you're doing every minute of the day. It's very, very stressful. Now, sometimes being micromanaged is a good thing because if you have a new project and it's very, very critical to the business, so they want to check everything. Like you go A, B, and C, stop, and I'm going to go check what you've done because it's critical and it's really trying to help you out. But if it's beyond that, you know the difference of being supportive and somebody being really, really down your throat, watching everything you're doing, and they won't let up. And you try to say, "Can you give me a break? Can you back off a little bit?" If they can't get the hint, guys, then you might want to start looking for another job or trying to get a transfer out of that department because micromanagers sometimes they don't even know they're micromanaging. It's a really, really difficult place to be if you don't like being micromanaged. Number 7. Is the right place at the right time boss. This type of boss is happy to be in the right place at the right time and got the promotion. This person doesn't necessarily have to be qualified. Maybe he or she was just the right person. So this person will lean on you for a great deal because they may not know what you do. They may not have the understanding or the qualifications or even the experience, but they're in the right place in the right time, so they got the job. So be careful there because this person knows that they're vulnerable. This person knows that they don't have the skills, so they will lean on you to try to get the information out. Be careful here. This could be a very, very bad boss, especially if they feel like that you have more knowledge than them and they're kind of scared about it. So they might try to push you out of the door if they feel like that you are a threat. So don't be a threat. Be very, very positive. It's not their fault they get into those jobs, so I don't blame them if someone gives somebody a promotion. First thing you should think, am I qualified? Am I ready for this gig? And be honest with yourself. If you aren't ready, then you need to tell somebody. But if you think you can stretch it, and most people try that stretch, then you should support them as much as you can. Number 8, I call this my boy's boss, right? This person got the job because he's a friend of the owner, he's a friend of maybe the superintendent or the director or the senior vice president, or his father owns a company. There's some type of relationship there, friendship. Something happened to put this person into the job. You know that person may not be qualified, but you know that person is well connected. This could be very, very tricky too, especially if it's the boss's son or there's a connection there. So be careful there. This also could be a very good thing because you could be launched into a position that you're very connected with some senior level people. This could be very, very negative because you could take the fall for a lot of stuff. This person had direct communication with the senior leadership, so be careful there. This could be a really, really bad situation. And number 9, the last one. This one is the I'm your friend boss. Now, from a high-level perspective, this might not be a bad thing, but I can tell you when it comes down to performance reviews, if this person's your friend, you go out drinking with them and party with them, they're over your house every day, they may not give you the right communication and direction that you need during the performance review. So you may need to pull yourself back and really ask some of the other peers, what can I do to better myself? You also might be stuck in that position for a long time because that person enjoys your friendship. They don't want you to be promoted around them. So you have to be careful there. Could be very, very positive too. They could promote you, but be careful there because if you're friends with someone, something happens outside of work, you laugh at the wrong joke, you do the wrong thing. Hey, that friendship can blow up, and guess what's going to happen in your career? Your career is going to blow up also because a lot of times people aren't professional, and because they're people, this can also be very, very damaging to your career. If you have any one of those 9 bosses, I'm not saying that you should quit your job. Don't quit your job. But if you have any of them, you should really think about an exit strategy or what to do. Try to get promoted or try to get a transfer. And if you have to, start looking outside to find an exit strategy. Talk to a recruiter, talk to someone to figure out what you can do. It's not the end of the world if you have one of these bosses, but if it was me, I would really start to look at an exit strategy to do something different. If you do feel like you need to leave, and you need some help, please contact me on the link below. Go to my website and book a free session. I would love to spend some time with you talking about the different strategies and some of the action that we can pull together. Thank you.